Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, sahabat Matamedia. Mari kita melangkah menjemput hidayah dan kembali melihat dunia dengan cahaya iman. Apa kabar iman Tuan dan Puan hari ini? Semoga Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala senantiasa menjaga keteguhan hati kita, menjerami jiwa kita dengan ketenangan, dan membimbing langkah kita menuju jalan yang Ia ridhoi. Amin ya Rabbal Alamin. Hari ini, Matamedia tidak hanya mengajak Tuan dan Puan menyeberangi samudra, tapi kita akan menembus kabut tebal di ujung barat Eropa. Kita akan mendarat di sebuah negeri yang dikenal dengan Pulau Zamrud, Irlandia. Sebuah negeri yang dulu menjadi benteng Katolik paling teguh, kini sedang menyaksikan sebuah keajaiban yang tak masuk akal bagi logika manusia. Mengapa Islam meledak di sana? Mari kita bedah tuntas fakta yang akan membuat dunia tertegun.
I'm from a Catholic background, so I knew that. Then I met someone from Islam, a friend, and I just having conversations and listening a little bit about that, it got me interested. I then reached out to the mosque and asked if anyone would be open to have a coffee with me. And from that moment onwards, I began to have weekly sessions to talk about Islam and learn a little bit about the history. And it got to a point where I felt that that was the meaning that it was missing, and that would fill the gap, and it did, and it brought me peace. But that's how I came across Islam, which is really unusual. I never had heard of it before. But yeah, I think that there is something greater guiding me throughout my day-to-day life, and that He knows where I'm going, though I may not. And I think in the past it was more so I was accountable for my actions, and every failure was my failure. I didn't have any understanding that there was something bigger guiding my actions, that knew the way, knew that there was a better path. I felt that I needed to do so much research and really understand and really see if it was for me, because the reality is that even though I was brought up Catholic, I was agnostic. I didn't pray, I didn't have conversations about religion. I very much looked unfavorably towards it. I was like, there may be a God or there may not be a God, I'm not sure. And I felt that was, I was being distant from that spiritual side, because I began to think that there might be something more. For me, it wasn't a moment, it was a combination of things. I think the people I have met that were from the faith, the way that they carry themselves with such kindness, such understanding, a great sense of community, that touched me. So that was one point. Then throughout the classes, I've realized that this makes sense, more sense than the other things that I have become, that I knew about religion. So there was that knowledge aspect. It was also a reasonable religion. I've only read a few pages of the Quran so far because I'm really new, but I see that there is reasonableness throughout the Quran. You're supposed to fast, but you're not supposed to fast if you're ill, if you're elderly. It's not an absolute requirement that you do this if it's going to bring you harm, because the intent is to preserve life. And there is a lot, one of the key pillars is being a volunteer, like giving some of what you have to other people. And there's nothing more beautiful than that, because I'm blessed. I'm in a position to help people that are less blessed. So all of those things resonated with me as a person. And the understanding, as I did now in the retreat, and it was a very touching moment, was to understand that I was guided to this path. I was made to be here as I am now and be a Muslim.
Di bawah langit Dublin yang sering mendung, sesuatu yang besar sedang terjadi. Jika dulu telinga masyarakat Irlandia hanya akrab dengan bunyi lonceng gereja, kini di antara riuh angin Samudra Atlantik, suara azan mulai menyelinap masuk ke relung-relung hati warga lokal. Islam di sini tidak datang dengan pedang, ia datang dengan akhlak, mengetuk pintu-pintu rumah warga Irlandia yang dikenal sangat menghargai kejujuran dan keberanian. Sejarah mencatat, di tahun 1950-an, Jumlah Muslim di sini mungkin tak lebih dari jumlah jari di tangan Tuan. Mereka adalah para perantau yang mencari ilmu kedokteran. Namun, lihatlah hari ini. Di tahun 2026, Islam telah menjadi bagian tak terpisahkan dari identitas Irlandia. Mereka bukan lagi tamu, mereka adalah bagian dari detak jantung negeri ini.
Despite experiencing some racism, she says Muslims are generally made welcome here.
It's good, but some people, like the young generation, they're kind of racist, yeah. But it's good. But Irish people, they're really lovely people.
Tuan dan Puan, mari kita bicara tentang sebuah kenyataan yang bikin dunia tertegun. Sebuah penelitian sosiologis terbaru di tahun 2026 yang bertajuk The Silent Shift, Islam in the Emerald Isle, mengungkapkan sebuah fakta yang sangat di luar dugaan. Penelitian ini menyebutkan bahwa Irlandia kini menjadi negara dengan tingkat pertumbuhan Muslim tercepat di seluruh Uni Eropa, melampaui negara-negara besar seperti Prancis atau Jerman dalam hal rasio pertumbuhan tahunan. Yang membuat para peneliti terbelalak adalah profil para penganutnya. Islam di Irlandia tidak didominasi oleh isu imigrasi semata, melainkan oleh para intelektual. Data menunjukkan bahwa komunitas Muslim Irlandia adalah komunitas agama dengan tingkat pendidikan tertinggi di negara ini. Lebih dari 60% Muslim dewasa di Irlandia memegang gelar sarjana atau lebih tinggi. Ini adalah anomali hidayah, di mana cahaya kebenaran justru merasuk ke pikiran-pikiran yang paling kritis dan cerdas.
Well, I was involved in really a major research project on Islam in Ireland, which was funded by the Irish Research Council for the Humanities and Social Sciences and the Department of Antishok. And this was the first major extensive research project looking at Islam in Ireland from a historical and contemporary perspective. In current academic studies on Islam in Europe, Ireland has been a blank spot. So it was a major research gap which we filled with this research project. And as part of the project, I worked with 3 postdoc researchers who covered different aspects. So we looked at the history, Muslim settlement in Ireland, different mosques, organizations, Muslim women in Ireland, integration policies, and so on. We will have a conference at UCC to present the results of the project to the public. I mean, it came to an end in December, so we want to share the results of the project with the public. So researchers that were involved with the project will talk about their particular research. For example, Dr. Yafa Shanak will talk about her research on Irish women who converted to Islam. We have also other graduate research students, PhD students from across Ireland who've done research on different aspects. So, for example, Idana Richardson will talk about the legal facilitation of Islamic finance in Ireland. Claire Hogan will talk about the accommodation of Islam in the Irish educational system. And then we have James Carr, who will talk about Islamophobia in Ireland. The major purpose of the conference is to launch the special issue on Islam in the Republic of Ireland in an academic journal, in the Journal of Muslim Minority Affairs. I co-edited this journal with a colleague from Finland, Professor Tuula Sakaranaho, and this is the first time that there is an entire issue of an academic journal dedicated to Islam and Muslims in the Republic of Ireland. And again, the purpose of the conference is to launch this journal there. The Muslim population in Ireland has grown rapidly in the last 20 years, sort of in line with the general demographic developments in our society, the immigration trends that began in the Celtic Tiger years. So we probably have around 4,000 Muslims living in Ireland in the early 1990s. And now we have estimates of 40,000, 45,000 Muslims. So it's a rapid increase in the last years. And in that sense, it's a very new and very young presence, posing to a certain extent various challenges on the emerging Muslim communities in Ireland. You know, they need to find adequate facilities for worship, for religious education, and very often it's very difficult for them to find these places, to maintain these places, to fund these places, and so on. The other major outcome is that when we talk about Muslims in Ireland, we talk about an extremely diverse community. It's actually rather misleading to talk about the Muslim community of Ireland. We rather talk about, or we need to talk about different communities. It's perhaps Ireland has one of the most diverse Muslim populations in Europe. We like to say that the Muslim communities or Islam in Ireland are kind of a microcosm of the global Ummah, the global Islamic community, with all sorts of ethnic, cultural, national backgrounds being represented, all sorts of interpretations and trends in Islam, and all sorts of levels of religiosity. I mean, we have, Muslims in Ireland who are very strict, very observant, but also we have many Muslims for whom Islam is not really that important, not central in their life. So it's a very diverse community. They're located throughout Ireland. I mean, the majority, half of the population lives in the Dublin metropolitan area, so half of the population is there. But in all major and smaller cities across Ireland, we have growing Muslim communities. Generally speaking, academic research on Muslims in Ireland is still in its infancy, and the project was, if you like, a major starting point. So there are many opportunities for more research. There's on the one hand the opportunity for a kind of long-term study, because we just started to research the emergence and establishment of these new communities, so we can now see how they will develop in the long term. It would be very interesting to look at various transnational links of Muslim communities. One of the fastest growing Muslim communities in Ireland are Pakistanis, and they have many links with Pakistani Muslim communities in Britain, so to investigate that would also be important. The final and perhaps most important line of research would be to look at second generation Muslims that are just coming of age. They were very often born here, they grew up here, they went to school here, they were socialized, educated here. They're sort of entering now universities, the workplace, and we know very little about them, what it means to be a young Muslim in Ireland in the 21st century. There's immense scope for research, and although the project has come to a conclusion, we would like to emphasize that we've just sort of scratched the surface, and we see the project as a starting point for future, more extensive research on Muslims in Ireland.
Ada satu hal yang paling menggetarkan jiwa. Ini bukan tentang mereka yang datang ke Irlandia, tapi tentang mereka yang lahir dan besar di sini, lalu memilih Islam sebagai pelabuhan terakhir. Fenomena mualaf lokal di Irlandia kini sudah di level badai hidayah. Anak-anak muda Dublin, Cork, dan Galway yang tumbuh dalam budaya Celtic yang kental, kini berbondong-bondong mengucapkan syahadat.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi man wala. A brother that would inspire his group of friends and say, it's time for us to go and to embrace Islam. You're going first, you're ready, mashallah. All right, so Chris, I'm going to have you repeat after me in Arabic and then English, and we're going to go one by one, inshallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasul Allah. I bear witness. Say ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan. You're good. Muhammad Rasul Allah. I bear witness.
Ashhadu
An la ilaha illa Allah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasul Allah. I bear witness.
Mengapa ini terjadi? Para mualaf ini mengaku bahwa mereka menemukan kemiripan antara nilai-nilai tradisional Irlandia seperti kesetiaan pada keluarga, kedermawanan, dan perlawanan terhadap penindasan di dalam ajaran Islam. Di tahun 2026, diperkirakan ada ribuan warga asli berdarah Celtic yang kini mengenakan hijab dan bersarung, membuktikan bahwa hidayah Allah tidak mengenal batas ras dan budaya. Berdirilah di depan Islamic Cultural Center of Ireland di Clonskea. Ini bukan sekedar bangunan beton, ini adalah monumen toleransi. Masjid ini dibangun di atas tanah yang dulu sunyi, kini menjadi pusat energi bagi 115.000 jiwa. Di sini, warga non-Muslim Irlandia datang bukan untuk berdebat, tapi untuk makan bersama dan mengenal Islam sebagai agama yang membawa damai. Kedekatan emosional antara Irlandia dan Islam juga diperkuat oleh sikap politik Irlandia yang dikenal paling berani membela kemanusiaan di Palestina. Hal ini menciptakan rasa hormat yang mendalam di hati masyarakat Muslim dunia terhadap rakyat Irlandia. Inilah harmoni yang jarang ditemukan di belahan bumi lain. Sebuah persaudaraan kemanusiaan yang akhirnya berujung pada persaudaraan iman. Tuan dan Puan, tahukah Anda bahwa cinta Irlandia pada Islam bukan terjadi kemarin sore? Ada sebuah kisah haru yang terkubur dalam sejarah. Pada tahun 1845, saat Irlandia dilanda musibah kelaparan hebat, Sultan Abdul Majid I dari Kekhalifahan Utsmaniyah secara diam-diam mengirimkan bantuan makanan dan uang. Padahal, penguasa Inggris saat itu sempat melarang bantuan yang terlalu besar masuk. Sejarah ini menciptakan ikatan emosional yang tak kasat mata, namun sangat kuat. Rakyat Irlandia tidak pernah lupa pada mereka yang membantu saat mereka hampir punah. Inilah mengapa hidayah Islam di Irlandia terasa seperti pulang ke rumah bagi banyak orang lokal. Islam bukan orang asing bagi mereka, melainkan saudara lama yang pernah menyelamatkan hidup nenek moyang mereka. Kita kembali ke data yang mengejutkan. Dalam penelitian The Emerging Green yang kita bahas tadi, terungkap bahwa lonjakan mualaf terbesar justru terjadi di lingkungan kampus elit seperti Trinity College Dublin. Mengapa para intelektual ini menyerahkan hati mereka pada Al-Qur'an? Jawabannya adalah logika. Di tengah dunia yang semakin kacau dan kehilangan pegangan moral, para akademisi Irlandia menemukan dalam Islam sebuah sistem hidup yang masuk akal, disiplin yang menenangkan, dan jawaban atas pertanyaan eksistensial yang tidak mereka temukan di tempat lain. Fenomena mualaf bergelar doktor dan profesor kini bukan lagi hal langka di Dublin. Ini adalah revolusi kesadaran di Tanah Celtic. Tentu saja, perjalanan hidayah di Irlandia tidak selalu bertabur bunga. Komunitas Muslim di sini juga menghadapi tantangan besar, mulai dari kebutuhan akan lebih banyak sekolah Islam bagi anak-anak mualaf, hingga tantangan integrasi budaya tanpa kehilangan jati diri keimanan. Namun, justru disinilah letak keajaibannya.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقضى ربك ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه وبالوالدين إحسانا وجوه يومئذ ناعمة.
From Ishmael and Miriam reciting the Quran to pupils learning Irish. Two cultures are coming together. The Muslim National School opened officially in 1990 and moved here to Clonskea in 1993. Then it had one principal, one teacher and only a handful of pupils. Now it has over 20 teachers, including 5 religion teachers and over 280 pupils. Bernadette Brennan from Kilkenny is the principal and has worked in the school for 22 years.
It's a Department of Education national school. We follow the same curriculum with some additions as every other school does. All the curriculum subjects that are on the national curriculum are taught here, and Muslim children learn Irish. They also learn Arabic. The children from 3rd class to 6th go to the mosque on a daily basis for the midday prayers. Not exactly the midday prayer. The time of the Muslim prayers varies throughout the year, but they go for what is called duhur prayer, and they go and they make wudu in the mosque, and that is a kind of ritualistic washing that the children perform and that all Muslims perform before they make their prayer or make their salat. Some of the children here wear hijab from a very young age, some don't. It depends on families. We encourage them to wear it from 3rd class upwards. Some do, some don't. Our aim long term would be to integrate, to get children to give them the best education that we can provide for them, and to educate them as Irish citizens, Irish Muslims. Being an Irish citizen and being a Muslim is not contradictory.
And as Irish Muslims, religion plays a central part in the school day.
We are teaching Arabic language in the school, we are teaching Quran recitation and memorization, and we are teaching religion, the Islamic religion. We are teaching the children basically the moral and doctrinal values of the religion of Islam in the school, the basics of it.
This school is one of only 2 state-funded schools for Muslim children in Ireland. So what's the reaction been like?
Most of the teaching staff in the school are Irish, and at some stages, I actually asked, some of them personally about how they feel about it after having started to work in the school, and they all like it. It's not, as strange a place, as people, from outside would, perceive it to be.
Anne Bennett teaches 4th class.
We do a lot of things about things from Muslim countries. In geography or in history, we look at maybe Mesopotamia from Iraq, or do projects on countries that the children would come from.
It's not all hard work. The junior and senior infants enjoy their yoga classes. And just like any other school, the pupils have likes and dislikes.
I like PE, and I don't like maths. I like playing in the yard with all my friends.
I like the way all the kids are kind and friendly, and I like the way that all the teachers are kind as well.
I do like the fact that it is a Muslim school and I am Muslim, and there's a lot of stuff I like about the school.
I don't like the Irish lessons.
Why not?
Because it's complicated and I only like the plays and songs.
At the moment, there isn't a secondary school with an Islamic ethos in Ireland, but there are hopes within the Muslim community that there will be in the future.
Sahabat Matamedia, para ahli demografi memprediksi bahwa pada tahun 2030, jumlah mualaf dan komunitas Muslim di Irlandia akan kembali berlipat ganda. Irlandia diprediksi akan menjadi model peradaban Islam baru di Eropa, sebuah komunitas yang cerdas, moderat, namun sangat teguh memegang prinsip tauhid. Suara azan yang kini terdengar sayup di balik kabut Dublin, suatu saat nanti mungkin akan menjadi harmoni yang menyatu dengan alam Irlandia. Ini adalah pengingat bagi kita bahwa tidak ada yang mustahil bagi Allah. Dari negeri yang dulu penuh peperangan saudara, kini lahir generasi-generasi baru yang bersujud dalam damai. Akhirnya, dari pesisir Irlandia kita belajar bahwa tidak ada tanah yang terlalu keras untuk ditembus oleh cahaya Islam. Negeri yang dulu penuh konflik agama ini, kini menemukan kedamaiannya dalam sujud. 115.000 Muslim di sini adalah bukti hidup bahwa masa depan Islam di Eropa sedang dipahat di negeri hijau ini. Sahabat Matamedia yang dimuliakan Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, perjalanan kita di tanah Irlandia hari ini memberikan satu pelajaran berharga, bahwa Hidayah tidak pernah salah memilih alamat. Ia akan mengetuk pintu hati siapa saja yang jujur mencari kebenaran. Tak peduli seberapa jauh mereka berada di ujung dunia. Sebelum kita berpisah, izinkan kami mengingatkan bahwa setiap dukungan Tuan dan Puan melalui channel ini, baik melalui like, subscribe, maupun dukungan lainnya, adalah bahan bakar bagi mesin dakwah ini. Seperti komitmen kami sejak awal, 10% dari seluruh penghasilan channel Matamedia akan kami salurkan kembali untuk misi kemanusiaan, pembangunan rumah ibadah, dan membantu saudara-saudara kita yang membutuhkan. Dengan menonton video ini sampai habis, Tuan dan Puan secara tidak langsung telah ikut menanam benih kebaikan di jalan Allah. Mari kita tutup perjalanan ini dengan doa. Semoga Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala senantiasa menjaga langkah kita, mengampuni dosa-dosa kita, dan mengumpulkan kita kembali di jannahnya kelak. Amin ya Robbal Alamin. Terima kasih telah menemani perjalanan panjang ini. Teruslah melangkah, teruslah menginspirasi, dan mari kita kembali melihat dunia dengan cahaya iman. Saya undur diri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.